Hey, so this match promises to have the stands rocking.
Rocking no more, Bob. The hooligans have already strung up the band. Oh, yes.
In this classic underdog confrontation, the favorites will surely win. And we're off! Corruption so widespread that the Referees Guild has set up rules concerning where, when, and how one can accept a bribe.
Under an agreement signed last season, clubs are not allowed to offer less than the going rate.
Yep, upside down. That's one way to look at things. That reminds me of when I took Griff to bits in the '91 final against Reichland.
Oh, yeah. You kneecapped him. What finish, what style, what perfection.
What a hammer blow! He's recovered the ball.
Nice flying pass, bravo!
A recent medical report stated that cerebral hemorrhages were less frequent in Blood Bowl players. Amazing when you come to think of it.
Not really, when you consider that brains are also less frequent. This player has opened the slapping box and gives rather generously.
I've heard of teams that have simply disappeared after being abandoned by their supporters.
They say that some teams who haven't won a match for several years have been tied up by their fans and thrown into rubbish containers.
It's the only way to end a downward spiral.
A player is being trampled into the pitch, and the crowd are lapping it up.
I hope he likes eating dirt.
He's got the ball! Brilliant pass!
As you say, good job.
Did you hear that the Orchard Raiders lost their last match against the Dancers?
Dancers? You mean war dancers? Boom! In the face, and then followed by a clean uppercut. Well done! You think you'll be able to get up after that blow, Jim?
Oh, yes. He's not the sort to stay down. Wizards have not always been able to cast spells safely from behind the sidelines. Weren't you playing at the time in an Albion league? A second division that prohibited spellcasting from off the pitch?
Oh, yes. They were great times. I remember fans traveling to games just to see how well Wizards stood up to the mad charge of a raving Blood Bowl star. The noise created by a sizzling fireball, followed by the characteristic sound of the snap of the Wizard's neck. Poetry in motion.
What we'd like to see
More often.
What? Right on the schmuzzle.
He'll have a bit of trouble blowing his nose from now on.
This player was really strong. Do you think they have some troll blood in them?
Could be. Or maybe his opponent shouldn't speak that way about the family. Ah, the Troll Slayers. You know that their first appearance dates back to 2465 in the match between the Giants and low-down rats.
No, I didn't. You know, me and the dwarves,
A blitzer called Stout Iron Fist was given the task of protecting the king's son. However, the rats managed to blindside him, and by the time he was able to clear his eyes, the king's son had been killed by the rat's troll. Stout, of course, flew into a frenzy and decapitated the troll.
Ouch, poor troll.
What violence!
Yes, it's a great spectacle, Bob. That face job is a lot cheaper than a plastic surgeon.
I don't know if he planned it, but it won't do him any harm in the looks department.
Blood Bowl is reputedly the toughest of all sports.
So they say, but it really only comes down to taking a few hits.
Ouch! That punch knocked his teeth down his throat.
Yes, Jim, that's never a nice sight. Ouch! Have a nice sleep.
Little baby gets his medicine and he's having a little nap.
Now, orcs have always gone for a power game, and you have to realize that it was only recently that they discovered the purpose of the ball during a match.
Hold still and then pow! Right in the face. He checked that move.
Made him look stupid, you mean?
It seems this player does all the talking with the fists.
And they clearly know how to get heard. Every now and again, Blood Bowl throws up a real mixed bag of a team.
Like the motley horde that's made up of a bunch of misfits.
Yeah, can't be easy to coach those cast-offs every day of the week.
Looks like there was some bad blood between those two, eh, Bob?
Yeah, Jim. Something to do with swapped body parts.
That was a hospital pass.
Are these guys pros? If insults had any effect on the trajectory of the ball, I guarantee that the dwarfs will be world champions.
Wow! I can tell you straight, that hurts. Well, that's one with a good reason to go see the apothecary.
Yep, looks like he's gonna need a good one. That's what happens when a pro crosses an amateur.
Yes, splodge. Now there's one that won't be coming back in a hurry.
The player has got the ball, and now he's the main target. He missed the pass!
Bring on the sock. The first quality required of an orc is to be able to hit hard, and if possible, not to think. The latter is considered a nasty flaw. Nice left punch, right on the nose.
Sure was, Jim. It's broken now.
And don't forget, children, don't try and do this at home. Remember, these are seasoned professionals.
Well, one of them is anyway. Ouch! Oh, he's knocked him senseless.
You're assuming, then, that he had something between his ears to begin with.
He trampled on his head.
Accidents will happen.
The Blood Bowl annals are littered with the stories of teams who've gone bust with crippling debts.
And with the cost of doping and bribery on the rise, the problem won't be going away. You can't say much about that.
Full-blooded but perfectly legal. If I can get their game going again. There was a time when the colleges of magic hadn't yet ruled on limiting wizard assistance to teams.
Who could forget the infamous 2472 Quagmire incident, when rampant spellcasting caused the entire Bright Crusader Stadium to sink into the earth?
Nobody could forget that. People were blinded for miles around the stadium. It's a catch! Now this player just needs to survive!
That pass was well off the mark.
Somebody should check on which changing room he came out of. Okay, it's halftime. No doubt the players will be grateful for a rest.
And the supporters glad for the opportunity to rebuild their stocks of missiles. Here we go again for another bloodbath. The referees guild has decided to hire a bodyguard for each game.
Another brilliant idea. And just how effective will one bodyguard be against a stadium full of supporters?
True, could be a bit one-sided.
In a game as physical as this, the player is really in the right place.
Exactly, it's really ugly. As soon as he throws his first punch.
We know the opponent will be out for lunch.
bet that hurt. Good job his nose got in the way.
Yeah, otherwise he'd have got it full in the face. Did you know that dwarf runners are trained in the same way as city watchdogs?
No.
Yeah. The coach hides a pint of beer somewhere inside a warehouse. And all the players on the team are then sent to find it. The first one to the beer is named Runner. Oh, no, another one who actually plays the ball. The ball flies through the air. Right on target.
Did you hear about the Evil Gits? The team that is made up of the mix of evil players?
Their fans won the Most Evil Supporters of the Year award. Fully merited from what I've seen. Ouch! Right in the face! The other guy couldn't dodge that one. Incoming!
Well, it is a violent sport.
I hope they've got a decent set of spare limbs to patch him up.
They'll be needing more than limbs, Bob. More than limbs.
He should have checked his hands were working before trying to pick up that ball.
Look over there. Some cute little elf beauties are selling Big Moot sandwiches in the stand.
Hey, I'm off to get one. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
And so now you like Big Moot sandwiches?
Ah, no way! A little elf beauty, yeah.
The player gets hold of the ball.
Brilliant sidekick to the face. Let's see that again in slow motion. That's what happens when a pro crosses an amateur.
Yes, splodge. Yesterday, I interviewed Ripper Boldrot, the Trolls super champion.
Interesting.
And I can tell you that he's as violent off the pitch as on it. He's skinned alive my colleague from Elf magazine.
What do you expect when you put an elf next to a troll? It's nothing personal, just an instinctive reaction.
That's one regulation clobbering. I bet that hurt. Good job his nose got in the way.
Yeah, otherwise he'd have got it full in the face.
We don't see much of the heroes of law these days.
I don't know.
For any spectators who aren't aware, the heroes of law hope to show the world a better way by honest, strategic play on the pitch.
It's probably a good thing we don't see them.
Looks like there was some bad blood between those two, eh, Bob?
Yeah, Jim. Something to do with swapped body parts.
Wallop! Right on the schmozzle!
He'll have a bit of trouble blowing his nose from now on. The ball is in his hands.
Finally, there's one that lets his biceps do the talking.
Yeah, but from his opponent's point of view, it was a short conversation.
The most famous blocker was probably Pendy No-Luck Stonewall. Remember him, Bob?
Oh, yeah. Every time he took a hit, his old mother used to come on the pitch and handbag the culprit. She had a total of 120 KOs during his career. Shame she disappeared during a match against the Lowdown Rats when she tried to spike the troll.
May she rest in peace.
You think he'll be able to get up after that blow, Jim?
Oh, yes. He's not the sort to stay down.
Yep, upside down. That's one way to look at things. Doping is really endemic in this sport.
Isn't it written into the game rules? Ouch! That punch knocked his teeth down his throat.
Yes, Jim, that's never a nice sight.
Did you hear that the Orchard Raiders lost their last match against the Dancers?
Dancers? You mean war dancers? Oh, brilliant side kick to the face. Let's see that again in slow motion.
This player has opened the slapping box and gives rather generously.
Ouch! Have a nice sleep.
Little baby gets his medicine and he's having a little nap.
I think he's singing him a lullaby. Crunch!
And a good blow to the head as well. Today's insight comes from Jaime Schnivel, coach and owner of the Goblin Lowdown Rats team. In yesterday's Spike magazine, he said that Blood Bowl was like war. No winners, just survivors.
Oh, now that's deep. About as deep as his team's position in the rankings. Poetry in motion.
What we'd like to see
More often. got hand skills. The ball is caught.
Just look at the fans. They're red hot. A majority of supporters reckon that the league should take measures to prevent the small minority of peaceful fans from watching a match from the terraces.
They've got a point. If they don't want to join in the fun, they might as well stay home and watch it on Cablevision.
He sent him down for a chat with the Astro Granite. That face job is a lot cheaper than a plastic surgeon.
I don't know if he planned it, but it won't do him any harm in the looks department.
This player was really strong. Do you think they have some troll blood in them?
Could be. Or maybe his opponent shouldn't speak that way about the family. Seems to be in two minds about what to do about the player lying prone on the pitch.
Yeah, they don't know whether to send on a stretcher or a coffin. Just look at the fans. They're red hot. A majority of supporters reckon that the league should take measures to prevent the small minority of peaceful fans from watching a match from the terraces.
They've got a point. If they don't want to join in the fun, they might as well stay home and watch it on Cablevision.
Yes, but I always feel cheated by a draw. Perhaps they should introduce extra time or sudden death.
Like, honors even.
On the pitch, yes. However, both sets of supporters are still hard at it to see who wins on the terraces.
The opposition didn't get a look in.
Yeah, they controlled the ball right from the start.
The opposition were capped in their half for most of the match.
Yes, they really didn't look as though they wanted to adventure across the halfway line.
Blood Bowl just ain't what it used to be. Nobody doped to the eyeballs.
It's just not entertainment. I don't think I've ever seen so many players sent off in one match.
Overzealous. Of course, there was the odd incident, but nothing out of the ordinary.